And he was there live. A lot of emotions outside of the event that Donald Trump is holding. You can see both crowds inside, packed crowds as usual for Donald Trump. Everyone waiting for the man to come out and to get the crowd going. But outside, we're starting to see this more and more. Protesters, and they've got an assortment of grievances, if you will. And I guess the problem has been is trying to keep both sets of groups apart from each other. And of course, last night, this was even mentioned during the debates. Donald Trump was asked about it last night and during several interviews today. I want to bring back the panel here. We've had Kirsten Hagelin, Steve Rogers, and Ebony Williams. And Steve, I'll start with you again. Did you see the? I'm sorry. We also have Ron Meyer with us remote. Ron, we'll get to you as well. Did you see the one rally where the protesters were being escorted out and the one kid was cold-cocked sort of out of left field?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people defend that today. I didn't think it was defensible. I don't think anyone should get punched, even if the protesting is out of line. But what do you make of it?
It's not defensible. The guy that punched the guy should have been dragged out of there and arrested immediately. We don't do things like this in this country where we attack people. The guy was peacefully walking out. Look, I was talking to by the way, you have great debaters here. In fact, you purposely outnumbered me tonight. But we agree to disagree in a civil way. And hopefully we're an example of what other people should be doing.
Now, of course, the flip side of that, guys, is people are saying, listen, this is a rally for supporters. They want to have fun. They want to hear the message. And it's sort of unfair for these others to come and to deliberately disrupt this. Sure. And some of them are looking for attention. Maybe some of them are trying to bait these guys. And by the way, my man who cold-cocked him, I got to tell you, 78 years old, I hope I have that kind of punch at 78. That's all I'm saying. That's a different story.
Also hope you got a good defense lawyer. Because,
right, exactly.
But in all seriousness.
Let's go out to Jeff Flock. Jeff Flock, give us the latest.
Charles, I will tell you, certainly it has swelled more since I last talked to you, but I tell you, that incident and the video that accompanied it at the Trump rally with the older gentleman has crystallized for a lot of these folks the reason they came out here today. And I tell you, I repeat, as we did last time, this is a very diverse crowd. As you heard last time, we even talked to Republicans in the crowd who feel as though the sort of stuff that they're seeing and the kind of the attitudes they're seeing is not what they want to be associated with. And this has been a very peaceful protest thus far, but I do emphasize to you, it's young, it's old, it's white, it's black, Hispanic, a lot of folks out here. And I tell you, I am now totally surrounded by protesters. It's at least hundreds, it may be thousands. It's all around the building. There's still a line of folks trying to get in, but a lot of the folks in that line are actually people that are there to protest or here to protest as well, that got tickets and were able to get in line, and they're going to go inside. Now, I don't know what's going to happen once they get in there, but I guess we'll see. I think I've lost communication with it, so I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff Flock. Hopefully we'll get you back online, and I'll go out to Ron Meyer right now. As Jeff Flock was talking, there was one sign with Trump with a swastika in the middle of it. This is sort of the hyperbolic thing that who is pushing that narrative? Why has it gotten to this point where you're actually associating swastikas with Donald Trump?
Well, the problem is he's refused to disassociate himself from nationalism. Pat Buchanan, who's a major backer of Donald Trump, has said that Donald Trump is an ethno-nationalist. That's a positive thing, as a good thing for the election, that it's good that he's proposing policies that are nationalistic. Now, that's different from Hitler. It's different from fascism. But the problem is, I think this is why, the loose association has been a problem for Donald Trump. When it takes you hours to denounce the KKK, you start having these associations that may or may not be fair, but are, with people, right. There's obviously people who think that. The issue is that Donald Trump's trying to change the Republican Party from freedom, liberty, and the Constitution to authoritarianism, strongmanism, and nationalism. And I think that there's a lot of folks, even the protesters out there. He mentioned there's some Republicans.
Let me bring. Hold on one second, Ron, because I think. Listen, Donald Trump at some point got frustrated answering the same question over and over and over again. And again, we know that the media does try to bait Donald Trump and they try to set traps for him. And I think that was part of his frustration with that. But on the other hand, I think there's patriotism and there's nationalism. At least this is the way I look at it. I think we all should be patriotic. I do think there are some dangers in being a nationalist. I'm not sure, Steve,
that's right.
That I see Donald Trump as a nationalist.
He's not. He's a patriot. And Ebony had to calm me down.
I can barely hear what the poor gentleman was saying.
Look, he's a patriot. Look at the man's family. Wonderful wife, wonderful kids, role models. So when I was a juvenile officer, I used those kids as role models. So let's get off of the narrative that he's a nationalist, that he's a Nazi. He's an American, he's running for president, and he's a patriot.
I got to give a little bit
I'm
of
talking
pushback.
about policy.
Yeah, he's talking about, okay, but also perception is reality, and I believe that's what the guest was talking about too. And look, Trump disavowed the KKK many times, going all the way back to I think it was 2001 or 2 when he was first asked. That one moment of hesitation, though, Charles, has cost him, and it has played a part of how this narrative has picked up steam. Yeah.
Well, also, let's admit this, though, that if you're Hillary Clinton, if you're the mainstream media, it picks up steam because you never let it go.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think it's been unfortunate for Donald Trump that even some of his Republican rivals and people like Mitt Romney keep hammering away at it as well.
It looks like an opportunity.
All right, guys, I want to remind the audience we got breaking news for you. Any moment now, Donald Trump will be speaking. In the meantime, outside the University of Illinois, you see big, large protests. Jeff Flock said it could be hundreds, even thousands. We're going to go back if we can get his mic fixed. But either way, we're going to bring you Trump Live, and we'll discuss it more when we return.